This immortality stuff helps us be present now in this moment and love this moment. I got to tell you how often or how long I wanted to be, the best minister, the best teacher there ever was, the best writer that ever was. And I finally got it. That position has already been taken, Jesus preached some mean sermons, but we're still talking about them 2,000 years later. Talking about teaching, he can teach. You could do a seminar on how to walk on water and change water into wine. Do you think I could outmarket that concept? So what I've come to recognize here is what I really want is to be the best that I can be at those things. That's all I want. That's all that I can be. And I've got to trust the moment I am, and in this unfoldment, in this continuity of life, in this immortality, in this loving expression that I've been given all that is necessary for this point in my life and in my world. I've been given all that I need. I just got to be fully present in this moment. I got to roll away the stone from the tomb, outside the tomb, and step out and rise to my potential and be willing to go for it. But what happens is so often people jump out wanting to be the star right away. If you want to be great at business and you're looking at Trump and saying, oh, boy, he's got his own TV show, he's got his own high rises, this guy's got his own plane, I'm going to do that. Well, you got to remember that he also started and stumbled and bankrupted his way to that level. There's a matter of becoming. So often the vision becomes so heavy rather than inspiring, it weighs us down. Of course I want to be able to write like a Hemingway and a Steinbeck, but what I got to do is start where I am. That is how it's got to be, and I got to be willing to be a little awkward and awful and inept in the process and have that be okay. And my ego goes, no, it's not. I just don't want you to be like that. And what happens if you're not willing to be awkward, awful, and inept? You will remain awkward, awful, and inept because you'll never move through it. We're always looking for a way out of the way through. Oh, that's good. No one got that yet today. I like that. This journey that we are on is what makes you. Jesus didn't come into this world, ta-da, I'm the guy. He had to be crucified before the awareness of his Christ expression was known. The hero has to go on the hero's journey before he becomes the hero. But it's those challenges in life that have you dig down and have your awareness and your attention begin to look for something more for Spirit to hit and to manifest. And those challenges and those difficulties that will enrage you and anger you and engage you will just spin you out of your present tomb or your dimension or your body of being into the infinite realm. And you can never return to the smallness that you once were. You can never fit back into the tomb that you were once residing in. This message today is about the ascension. It's about moving beyond where it is you were in your life. You've got to be willing to do that and let go of that which is holding you back. And one of the stories I love about Trevor, that we used to go down to the beach, and I would carry him on my shoulders. It was so fun. I was the proud dad, brought my son down, and we would walk, and I'd put him down, and he would walk along the beach. And we would throw rocks together. We'd skip rocks. And along the way, he'd find rocks that he liked. He liked the color of this one, so in his pocket that would go. He liked the shape of that one, and he liked that piece one. And all of a sudden, his pockets were bulging. And I'd be looking, Trevor's not around. And he's behind me, just kind of waddling, with his pants below his butt, Very trendy. I didn't realize that at the time, but he was ahead of his time. And I'd go back and say, Trev, what's up here? And he'd just reach up his hands and say, carry me. And I can't help but to think, like Spirit, we do that. We take on the rocks of the pain, or the anguish, or the betrayal, or the disgust, or the grief, or the anger, or the resentment, or whatever it is. And we begin to get way down, and finally turn to God and say, carry me. Spirit saying, empty those pockets, man. Let go of those rocks and those boulders. Let it go. Life isn't meant to be difficult. You are not meant to have forgotten who you are. Because who you are is magnificent. And the pain or the resentment or jealousy or fear or any of those rocks you put in your pocket are only because you've forgotten how great you are. You've forgotten the magnificence of your being. Anita Marani said that's what she came to realize is the problem, is that people have forgotten their magnificence. They have forgotten that they are loved, that they are perfect, and that whatever they are going through is perfect for them. But what happens is rather than going through it with our eyes open, we want to, circumvent the journey. We numb it, we disappear, we don't pay attention. Just because you're sick, we think, well, that's not okay. Who says the sickness or the challenges is an opportunity for you to be present, to experience God in a way in which you have never experienced, even if it's through death. If you have got your ducks in order and you got your death chant or your blessed chant, oh God, this is great, I am thankful, I'm graceful, I'm living in grace, this is right, this is beautiful. All of a sudden, you're able to journey through those times without thinking, oh, this is wrong. I'm able to open my eyes and see. And you will rise triumphant. That reading, part of that reading Christina was doing, that came from Ernest Holmes. I just want to reiterate it. It's on page 369 for any of you textbook-toting metaphysicians. And Ernest loved Jesus. He has a whole chapter on the Christ consciousness, a chapter on the teachings of Jesus, has a chapter on immortality. This death stuff was not something he put behind and said, I'm not looking at it. It's just as natural as birth and life. We've got to be comfortable with it. Because if you're not preparing until the very end, it's like all of a sudden you're looking through that portal to the other side, and you have got these blaring speakers, stadium speakers, this cacophony of sounds just going at you. You say, oh, I'm at peace, I'm at peace, I'm at peace. You haven't been there. If you did it when you fell off your horse, if you did it when you had the challenge financially, if you did it when you went through the separation, all of a sudden if you use this healing to connect you with that life force and know that the ancestors or that life force is blessing me, I'm able to keep my eyes open and guide myself in this time of challenge. This transition, this death is not unnatural in any aspect of our life. We are constantly dying to one thing and being born to another. And if I can remember my chant, I've given Trevor his every night. I realize for the last 10 years, every night I say, God blesses and watches over you. The ancestors guide you, guard you, protect you, and assist you to live your God purpose and passion in a world filled with joy, happiness, love, peace, gratitude, friendship, laughter, perfect health, abundance, and perfect speech. And he just recites that. It's like his. He's got it. He can't even say that many words in a row with anything, but he's got that down. If you've got it, you can meet the challenges that you're facing with your eyes open without disappearing, being fully conscious of what is going on. Just want to reiterate what Christina said. She said, the Christ knows that his individuality is indestructible. Right? The Christ, not the man Jesus. We saw that body go. Okay? The man Jesus exemplified a level of awareness that we call the Christ consciousness. He was a man who demonstrated a very high level and said, what I can do, you can do too. He never walked on the moon that I know of. He's an example of the possible human. It is the consciousness he exemplified. And so when we talk about the Christ knows that the individuality is indestructible, that he is an eternal being living forever in the bosom of the Father. The Christ triumphs over death and the grave, breaking through the tomb of human limitation into the dawn of eternal expression. The Christ rises from the ashes of human hopes, pointing the way to a greater realization of life. The Christ is always triumphant. It is ever the victor. It is never defeated. It needs no champion. The Christ places its hands in the outstretched hand of the universe and walks unafraid through life.